Bullies attack young teacher to coma, saved by single dad veteran, then her mother destroys school. Sometimes, the smallest act of courage can wake up a sleeping giant. The video fades in on a cold, gray morning outside Riverside High, the kind of school that looked perfect from the outside but hid stories the world would never believe. A group of students was laughing in the hallway, not the good kind of laughter, but the kind that cuts, breaks, and humiliates. Their target was Ms. Claire Evans, a new 24-year-old teacher who had joined just 2 months ago. Bright, hopeful, and passionate, Claire believed she could make a difference in the lives of her students. But that morning, the world proved her wrong. She caught a group of boys bullying a disabled student behind the gym. When she stepped in to stop them, one of the bullies, the football captain, didn't take it well. Words turned into shoves. Shoves turned into punches. And within minutes, Claire was on the ground, bruised, bleeding, and gasping for breath. The last thing she saw was their sneakers walking away as her world faded into darkness. Across town, Daniel Cross, a single dad and retired Army veteran, was working the night shift at a small auto repair shop. The same school had once expelled his teenage son, Eli, after a misunderstanding. Since then, Daniel had kept his head down, trying to rebuild his life after losing his wife in an accident years earlier. But that night, destiny had a way of calling. When the news broke about the attack, Daniel saw the face of the young teacher on TV, and something in him snapped. He remembered how she once defended Eli in class when no one else would. She was one of the few who saw good in his boy. And now she was in a coma, because she tried to do the right thing. Daniel drove straight to the hospital. The hall smelled of antiseptic and hopelessness. He saw Claire's mother sitting outside ICU, trembling, clutching her daughter's hand through the glass window. They said she might never wake up, she whispered to him. Daniel looked at her and said softly, "Ma'am, if there's breath left in her, she'll fight. And I'll make sure justice does too." The next few days turned the town upside down. The school tried to cover it up. The principal said it was an unfortunate incident. The bullies, parents, powerful people, hired lawyers to silence the truth. The students who recorded the attack were threatened. The world moved on, but Daniel didn't. Every day, he visited Claire's hospital room. He brought flowers. He read aloud from her favorite books. He even brought Eli, who sat quietly by her bedside, holding her hand. "Dad," Eli whispered one night. "She believed in me when no one else did. We can't let them get away with this." Daniel nodded. "Then we fight, son. Not with fists. With truth." What came next was something the town would never forget. Daniel and Claire's mother, Margaret Evans, a retired lawyer, teamed up. She was quiet, but when she spoke, her words burned with fury. "They broke my daughter," she said, "but I'll break their system." She began gathering evidence, interviewing witnesses, leaking stories to local media. Daniel, using his veteran instincts, found the video that the bullies had tried to delete. The footage was brutal, undeniable proof of what really happened. When the truth surfaced, it spread like wildfire. The town erupted. Parents demanded justice. Students protested outside the school. And the bullies, parents, the ones who thought money could erase guilt, found themselves cornered. 1 month later, Claire opened her eyes. The doctors called it a miracle. But Daniel believed it was something stronger, the power of hope that refused to die. Her first words were barely a whisper, "Did they stop him?" Daniel smiled, tears filling his eyes. "No, Claire, you stopped them. The whole world knows what you did." Claire wept. Margaret held her daughter close for the first time in weeks. And the cameras outside the hospital caught that moment, a mother's tears, a veteran's strength, and a teacher's courage reborn. But the story didn't end there. Margaret wasn't done. "They tried to destroy my daughter's spirit," she said in a trembling voice at the school board meeting, "but they've only destroyed their own reputation." The video of her speech went viral, 40 million views in 3 days. She tore apart the school's leadership, exposing years of bullying and corruption. The principal resigned. The bullies were expelled. Laws were changed. And Riverside High became the first school in the state to install a zero-bullying task force, named after Claire Evans. Months later, Claire returned to teaching. Her voice was weaker, her movements slower, but her heart was stronger than ever. In her first class back, she saw Daniel and Eli sitting in the back row, invited guests for her welcome back day. She smiled at her students and said, "Some lessons aren't in the books. Sometimes, courage is standing up when everyone else walks away." Daniel clapped. Eli smiled proudly. And somewhere deep inside that classroom, a generation of students learned what bravery truly looked like. When the story ends, the narrator's voice fades in. Heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes, they wear the scars of their kindness. If you believe in standing up for what's right, even when it's hard, then hit that like button, subscribe, and share this story so more people remember, one voice can change everything.